Hello everyone and welcome to another MASH session, and I'm delighted today to be joined by Mark Field, Operations Director at the Victory Services Club, which is a fantastic venue in West London in the Marble Arch area. Now, it's been a bit of a strange time for the events industry. I don't think we need to go too much into that. We all know what it's all about. But what can a venue do to reassure organisers and to try and entice delegates back when, of course, it's safe to do so? Social distancing measures are going to be around for quite some time. Now, the Victory Services Club has recently been operating as a key worker hotel, which is a fantastic contribution to the national effort. And, of course, social distancing is going to form some manner of part of that. So, Mark, delighted to have you with us today. How are you doing?
Yeah, fine. Morning. I'm not at work today. We're on rotation of keeping the club open. So working from home today. I'm back in on Friday this week.
Great. So, Mark, maybe we can start off. Tell us, what are the kind of key things that you've learned from opening as a key worker hotel? What about your procedures and staff flexibility and stuff like that?
I think in a way we were always prepared because we're a very flexible organization, and I think that's one of the biggest keys you've got to be. Information that comes out from the government is quite headline at first, and then the detail follows later. So you're planning every eventuality that they may throw at you, so your plan is adaptable and flexible. And I think that's the biggest key we've learned. We're lucky. We've got a very flexible team, and that's helped. Because when you put in standard operation procedures in place and then changing them again when the detail comes out, can be quite frustrating if your team's not on board. So I think communicating with them that we're all in together, and change will evolve daily sometimes. Not where you used to have plans that you could set in stone, they'd run for the year, you'd review them, tweak them. And when things come back, the restrictions will be firmer and they'll change as that roadmap that the Prime Minister said from 5 to 1 eases. So you've got to get your team on board.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I mean, I think one of the things that's less easy to quantify when we kind of get to a stage where events might be allowed to run again is this idea of coronaphobia. People are still going to be pretty anxious about heading to events and even just about town. So what can a venue do practically to help instill that confidence? Does it involve just creating an environment that respects social distancing, or is there more to it?
No, I think there's a lot more to it, and I think you're quite right. That roadmap of 1 to 5 Prime Minister's given us. I think society will be on the 1 to 5 scale of coming back. There will be some people, even though we may be allowed to go back, things will be open, that are really, really fearful about coming back, and there'll be others that are on that 1 scale. We're all different people, and some of us are very optimistic, some of us are not, and it's that we've got to prepare ourselves for every client that comes in, not just the optimistic, the ones that are really scared, and just saying we're going to stand 2 meters apart is not going to be good enough for them. So there's a lot involved in, and it takes its investment as well in a time when cash flow is and all of our businesses are at risk. But I think we've looked at it. We've got to invest, as we always would. Safety of our staff and our clients is always the first thing we look at. And things we put in cost money. We've in thermal scanning, and the technology. There's a lot out there. We've done a lot of research on it. I mean, I never thought I'd be researching thermal scanning for an event, but to invest in it right, and the tech, it can do multiple people at once coming through the doors. You're not going to have multiple people if you're going to have a long queue around the corner for even 50 delegates at 2 meters. Now you need space outside, space them out every 2 meters that you just don't have. So you've got to communicate with organize staggered timings, how we're going to get them in, and then speed up the process. Thermal scanning gives everybody the peace of mind. Once you've walked in, if you do have a temperature over 38, it circles you. You can have a screen that the client see as well. So, because it's a bit daunting. We're changing the way we operate. So you got to give them peace. And we're not big brother watching and trying to find people with a temperature. We're trying to keep everybody safe, them safe, and the other delegates that come in our staff. So there's a lot to it, and we're trying to preempt what will come, and invest in the technology and in things before, because demand is very high. I mean, we preempted before the Prime Minister spoke on the Sunday that face coverings would become a recommendation, and you could make them at home, or you could do it. We thought that would come, so we contacted a company, and have had 200 made for our staff that will issue each member of staff to, and it's guidance at the moment. It's not compulsory, but they can choose to wear them coming and going from work and in work. So it's trying to, before stock levels run out and you're panicking. I mean, we've got to the 4th of July, maybe longer than that. Don't know what, as you said, we don't know what's going to come back on the 4th of July. Our business is not going to return to normal for a long time. We're not going to have all aspects of our events business, our 200 bedrooms, the restaurants, the bars, going at full throttle. So we've got to be adaptable and give the staff the peace of mind as well that they're working in a safe environment. It's not all about our clients. We've got to give them the peace of mind. Writing new in operation procedures from top to bottom, and also all those cleaning up ops, the new plans. Everybody's talking about, well, your staff should be reduced, your payroll should be reduced. I don't see housekeeping reducing. That's all. We'll be doing less, but the amount of manpower you will need, definitely, if all elements of our business come back, right, and we're running them at even 50% capacity, that manpower on housekeeping, access control, all these things you'll have to put in place to keep everybody safe, you will cost a lot of money.
I mean, how have your clients sort of reacted to the measures that you've introduced? Have you had any feedback yet?
Yeah, it's been very positive. We're in regular communication with all of our clients and our members. So our clients, our events team and the best way to communicate with them we've found is definitely on a one-to-one basis. We can put a lot out there through email things, but they're getting a lot from a lot of people. And you can be bogged down in all the detail of everybody saying different things. And we're not saying what we're doing is everybody should be doing. We feel it's the best for us, it's the best for our staff, it's the best for our clients to keep them safe. So we want to inform them more on a personal level. We have a personal relationship with our clients. So, we want to speak to them and try to gauge that what we are doing is that what they're looking for? Because there's no point in putting all these things in place and then go, well, actually, I'm not really looking for that. I'm looking for this. So it's getting all stakeholders, our staff members, what the government give us, what the clients require, and putting that all together. And we've done in our first draft of our pre-opening plan, which is about a 2-page document of all areas of the business. A big sector of that is events and what we do. That's at senior management level. Scrub down, that'll be passed then to our heads of department, so they can comment on it in their own areas, and feedback they've got perhaps hasn't filtered through to us. Because once you give somebody a document and say, look at your areas, comment on it, you need to take ownership of it. Conversations they've had with clients will come to their minds as well. Things perhaps they've missed, little things. And then we can scrub that down again, and then we'll share that with our staff as well. for comment, and that document I think will be live and it will change. And the plan is clients will have that available as well, so they can see. And I mean, that's small things, Marty. I mean, every hotel room, you know, or the majority of hotel rooms still have a Bible in the drawer, right? So that's not a one-off use item. You know, should it be removed? It probably should. How do you make it available for the people that want it so they can feel safe? You know, is it in a sealed bag in the room, you know, that you can break and we replace it? But those are all, it's a small element of which make then a massive change in once you start thinking about it. How do you do little things? Tea and coffee sachets, biscuits at events. You know, the biscuit packets at events, should they all go in the bin if they're not used? How do you control that waste as well? You know, we've been doing so well on sustainability, and COVID-19 is sort of saying, well, everything should be disposable. You should throw it away. You should, you know, so we've gone fully the other way. And safety must come first, but we want to still be a sustainable business through this. Some of those things we won't be able to. They'll need to be disposable items. But it's thinking longer than how do we get through, how do we come out of this a better business as well? You know, when COVID-19, when there is a vaccine, and there will be, right, and we're looking back at this, is how can we as a business, you know, be proud of what we've done? We've kept everybody safe. We've kept all of our staff. We've evolved as a business, and this has made us stronger.
Yeah, it's a really good point, actually, isn't it? You know, everything, you know, we were moving towards, you know, reusable at all costs, and now everything's having to become disposable again. It's quite remarkable. The last question I'm gonna ask you, Mark, really is, what do you think are the key issues the industry has to tackle to encourage Britain to get Britain meeting again? I mean, we hear about government guidelines and, you know, some manner of COVID secure standards. What are the key issues we've got to discuss?
I think our key issues to try at government level anyway is they talk about these standards and the COVID secure standards and things. There's very little information. You know, they've indicated hospitality in some form will come back on the 4th of July. You know, that's a lot of time to plan. That's a lot of time to put things in place. You know, everybody wants to reopen. Everybody wants to make sure everybody is safe. I mean, the amount of talent we've got in the industry, if they shared that with us now, right, we can develop it. We can feed back. We can tell them where it's going to work, where it's not going to work, and how we can keep people safe. But, you know, we'll be ready if they drop it on us a week before, you know, because our plans are adaptable. But we've got more resources than some businesses as well. Business will have to reopen. People's livelihoods are on the line, and once you've got a hungry belly, corners get cut. Give the information now, and everybody will be ready. Everybody will be safe in every business they go to. You know, they will be safe at ours, 100%. Whatever we have to do, we will put in place, and we'll put more in place than is required. We're a very pragmatic organization, and we think about everything, not just what we have to do. You know, we go beyond that. But if they rush this, and people, you know, have got mouths to feed, bills to pay, some will open before they are ready. They'll get ready, but then you've got that risk, because every day you delay and you're not getting any income in is another day closer to closure.
Well, I mean, the last question really is, how's your kind of end of the year looking? When, before lockdown came in, did the majority of your clients postpone or cancel? If events are allowed to run, are you going to be able to host anything towards the end of this year, do you think?
Yeah, at the moment, you know, cash flow we look at regularly. But if we just take events at the moment for year-end forecast, it's still looking promising. Obviously, our year starts on the 1st of April. So for April, May, June, there's hardly any income coming in. But past that, and like everybody, your last quarter is normally your most profitable. 95% of our clients are postponed, so we've still got a lot on the books. But the risk is with whatever comes in, and that's why we need this information as soon as possible, because we can then change events. We can have hybrid events. We can flex with our clients. They've got time to absorb. Your dinner for 200 people can't be hosted the way it could have when you first booked with us. But this is how we could achieve your event. This is how we can do it. The more time we have to work with our clients and say, look, things have changed, but we're still here for your event. We just can't do it the traditional way you want it. And we've got to come up with plans and be creative, innovative, and in a safe environment. But we can achieve that as long as we know what the guidelines are we can operate in.
Absolutely. Mark, I know you're a busy man, but I'm sure you're going to enjoy. I think you said you're on a day off today, so I'm going to let you enjoy it. Thank you for sharing us your insight, and everyone will make sure we pop a link to the Victory Services Club in the description of this video. Thank you very much, Mark.